Welcome everyone to another episode of Two Men No Hope. It is Friday, or maybe it's Monday. Whatever day you've decided to tune in, we appreciate it. Just to let you know to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new content. To leave us some stars. Be as generous as you want. 5-star is normally the usual that people leave, but it's up to you. But, as always, my name is Daniel Say, and I am joined with the lovely Jamie Waltman, as always. How's it going, man?
Good. No less than 5 stars. If you're sending us less than 5 stars, I need to find out why. So you need to email me directly or email the podcast.
I have to say we're doing pretty well with the stars. We're a solid 5, something like 235 stars.
Yeah, we haven't got one less yet, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I think we're sitting at a solid something like 50 out of 100 in the indie charts on Good Pods. That's pretty good as well.
There you go.
So, but we just need those follows up, man. Like, new content is coming. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you hit that subscribe, and you'll never miss out on anything. We'll make sure of it.
Put the notifications on as well, so it always helps. But yeah, I've been good, Dan. I'm going away next week, as you know.
Is it next week?
Yeah. So I fly out on Monday, but I'm working Friday to Sunday. So I've got like a super tight situation now where I decided to pack on Sunday, just gone.
All right.
But then I've also ordered clothes. So right now I'm sitting next to a semi-full suitcase because I can't put all my clothes in there because obviously I need to work and live for a week at the same time. So I've got like a semi-full suitcase. And then, so that's to try and save myself time. But now all it's done is just get in my way for the last fucking week. Every time I come in this way. And I've been doing well with like the weight loss and stuff. I've been working out. I've been doing well on the carnivore diet. And then today, I have tweaked my knee in such a way that I can't put my fucking foot down on the floor. It is so bad.
When did you do that? What?
Working out earlier.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. So I hurt it a couple of weeks ago doing lunges. So I told my personal trainer I can't do lunges anymore because I keep feeling like I'm going to fall over because obviously being overweight, your balance isn't brilliant, yeah? And I was coming back on my leg and I tweaked it. And I felt a pain go then. And I said, I can't do him no more. So then we focused on other stuff and figured out another way for me to work the same muscles but without actually lunging, yeah? So today, I was doing different things. I was doing squats, everything, weighted squats, briefcase squats, all kinds of like things during my workout. And believe it or not, me stepping out into the garden when it was raining, I slipped and my knee went.
Fucking hell.
So I did a whole workout. As walking out into the garden because it was raining, I slipped on the fucking pavement and then my knee's gone. And I couldn't put pressure on the floor. And I'm trying to pretend that tomorrow it's going to be fine because I do not want to be causing any problems for my holiday.
Always before you go on holiday, there's something wrong, man.
I know, I've already ordered tablets like naproxen and fucking painkillers just so I can dose myself up and just get on it. As long as I can get on the plane, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Once you're there, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's just getting there.
But
would they let you on the plane if you're like limping?
Huh?
Would they let you on the plane if you're like struggling to walk? Would they be like, oh no, so you can't travel?
I'll just be like, I've got sciatica, prove it. And just fucking walk past them, that's what I do. But I'm hoping tomorrow I'll wake up and 95% of it will gone. It's on ice right now. I've got my knee in ice and just hoping that it will fucking thing. It feels like a tendon or something at the back of my knee.
Yeah.
It's not an actual. Every time I move it, it clicks. So it's it's not nice. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow and it's the size of my arm, then we've got problems. But how have you been?
Back of my throat now. Yeah, not bad. We're going to do some time travelling because I'm sure people in the last episode were like, wasn't it Dan's birthday? He hasn't spoke about it. Well, that's because I hadn't had it yet.
Yeah, we're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the game.
Every now and again we try and get ahead. So yeah, I went out for my birthday. It's funny. So Sabina went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I booked off work Thursday, Friday. I stayed with her on the Thursday, and she was flying out. So I came home. So I got involved in Starfield because I was like, I've got some time off. Had all these plans to do stuff for the podcast, which I got some of it done. But Starfield took over my life. I think I'm in like 26 hours in or something.
Is Starfield? So yeah, how are you playing Starfield? Because I heard it's on the Xbox Pass.
Yeah, so I'm trying to save money, right? So I was like, there's a few games I want, but this is brand new games on the Pass for like £8 for a month.
I might buy it myself, you know.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it. If it's no good, I've only spent £8. If you like Skyrim and you were interested in No Man's Sky, it's like the best of both worlds. I've got some of the ships give me a proper like rock hard. They're fucking well good, especially when you get into like the sort of like B and C class. They get fucking massive, and it's like, oh man, yeah. And you can be like a space pirate. It's well worth it. If you definitely if like you like Skyrim and stuff like that, it's really good. It's well worth a go. But yeah, they end up going to Edinburgh with my brothers on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. We went to the Cocktail Geeks again, and their theme was The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was expecting to see some Instagram situations on that.
Well, my brothers don't like fucking photos taken.
Ah, right.
And Sabina's not there. She's the Instagram guru. Like, she does it all for me. I think she has been doing some posts while she's been in Vegas. But like for like the episodes and stuff like that. But no, I have photos. It's all my photos are cocktail based. They're all cocktails. But there was this one cocktail that was called a Monotov.
Okay.
Because obviously it's all themed about The Last of Us and that. And I was like, I've got to try it because it sounds fucking mental.
Was it
and
on fire?
It had kimchi puree in it, and it had chilies in it with like other fruit and stuff like that. And they put it in like it looked like a milk bottle with the top, and they put smoke in it. So when you pop the top, smoke came out of it.
That'd be so cool. But
when you went to drink it, the smoke made it smell like pepperami. And then when you drank it, the kimchi was so fucking potent, like it hurt to drink.
Oh, really?
Which I suppose is exactly what the title is, isn't it? It's a Molotov. But that place is so fucking cool. Like, my brothers really enjoyed it, so that was really nice.
I do think that's definitely a place we need to go to when I come up.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely, man. We'll go there. And then that NQ64 was really good as well. Like, we're playing games and stuff. So it was a really good day. People ask me how old I was. I turned 36. I thought I mentioned it in Jim's episode, but I might not have done. Yeah, so I turned 36. A lot of people sent in emails and said thank you. Said happy birthday, which I really appreciate. It's strange talking to like my brothers, like my youngest brother. He's in college, and he's pissing about with his life, and mum's moaning at him because he doesn't know what to do. And obviously, I've only just realised that I want to be a podcaster, and I'm 36.
Yeah.
But it's strange because I was thinking today. I know, obviously, it's me and you chatting and stuff like that, but you have like these strangers saying happy birthday to you, and when you read it, it doesn't feel like strangers.
No, not at this point, especially some of the guys that are quite regular as well.
Yeah, I just think it was really nice because obviously when you get older, we had the Uber Eats fella that he said it's hard to meet people and stuff, but it's right. Like, I'm sitting here with like you, my best mate, just chatting, trying to help people out and stuff like that. And then for them to take the time to say happy birthday to, someone they don't even know, I just think it was really nice. So I really appreciate you guys sending it in. I think my mum put up a post about happy birthday, and I think the only people that messaged happy birthday to me, apart from like you and Spina and Jim and that, were mum's friends. I don't even know them.
Yeah, that's the. I always find every year it's less and less people as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a little bit of an extra community there.
Yeah,
So,
it feels like it's less and less important. So no, for anyone that took the time, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I enjoyed getting every one of them, and it was a really nice day. It's the first time I properly drunk with my brothers because obviously we have big age gaps. So that was quite interesting as well. My youngest brother is a teetotaler. He can't handle his drink.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, especially the fact he doesn't eat either. So that was even better.
When you got to Edinburgh, where did you go straight to Cocktail Geeks, or did you go somewhere else first?
Nah, so I'm obviously an avid drinker, so I knew that we had to line our stomachs. So I went to a place called Oink.
Oh, you went there first, yeah.
Yeah, and I got myself a grunter. So Oink, I said it before when someone wanted recommendations of Edinburgh. It's like a roast pork place where you just basically go in and you get a roll. And they basically fill it with fucking meat and like crackling and like apple sauce. It's fucking amazing. And my brother had one. So we ate that. And then we went to the Cocktail Geeks. And then we went for a bit of a walk. And then we ended up in NQ64. So it was just one of those it wasn't a massive, heavily drinking day.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to get out. Like my brothers, especially Toby, my middle brother, he doesn't really go out much. Apart from
nice
taking him to the cinema stuff. Yeah, yeah. And he's in like a health kick as well, so it's weird because he's got Asperger's, I said before, so he never eats fruit or veg. He never tries anything, and I swear to God, I saw him try more things that day than I've ever seen him try in his entire life. I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
all the cocktails you tried, everything, he even drunk that fucking monitor. I was like, I can't drink any more of this. Like it wouldn't go down, and he was like, I'll drink it. We did this thing as well. They called them picklebacks.
Picklebacks,
So,
okay.
yeah, so obviously in The Last of Us, you can do crafting.
Yeah.
So it was like a sort of like a hint to that. So you had to pick a shot. So obviously it was the normal ones like vodka, tequila, rum, blah blah blah, and then they had their own homemade pickle juices.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like pickles. It just meant like pickled. So they had what was it? Peach, strawberry and honey, and pineapple and lime. And I tell you what, man, I had strawberry and honey with my one, and it was like sweet vinegar. Like I would have quite happily put that on my fish and chips. It was fucking tasty. Fucking tasty it was. I preferred that than the fucking shot of, what did I have? Rum. I had a shot of rum.
I have always found it strange that you like spiced rum, because spiced rum has got a very particular taste to it.
I like rum.
Yeah.
I like most things. I don't like Sambuca.
Yeah, Sambuca fucking... I like Sambuca, but I've vowed since the last time I was out and I couldn't remember fucking 45% of the night at 31 years of age, I vowed I'm not going to do it again.
I burnt... No, I was with a girl and she burnt a ring onto a countertop, and we managed to get the burn off the counter with Sambuca.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, took it right off. It did.
When I was living at home, I must have been fucking 17. I had a bottle of Sambuca from a house party that I nicked from a house party. I had no means of getting any other alcohol at that point, so I just had the bottle. And I was trying to get drunk one night when I had people around. And I drank the bottle of Sambuca.
Oh.
Yeah. Which you would think would be enough. Like with me with the sours, that's enough for sours now. That's ended it for the rest of my life. Can't drink it.
Yeah.
And I'm like that with gin as well. Can't drink gin for the same reason. But the Sambuca, I felt sticky for days.
Sticky?
Yeah, because Sambuca has this sticky fucking... Anyone that's drank Sambuca knows what I'm talking about. It's like this weird stickiness to it. So even though you've put it straight in your mouth as a shot,
yeah,
your hands are sticky, your mouth is like gummy. It's like a horrible feeling. That's what one of the worst feelings is. Waking up after a night out for me is the stickiness of Sambuca and the fact that I know I've been drinking beer all night, knowing that I'm allergic to it. So I'm going to be on the toilet all night and I'm sticky. That's when you know that you're just fucking your life up.
What an image, you know what I mean?
just think about that, people. Think about that.
I have to say, I noticed the difference in myself when Sabina's not here. Like, I've gone full caveman again.
I was going to
only
ask,
been
how
a
have you
week.
been doing with the lack of Sabina over a weekend?
Yeah, not good.
No?
I'm okay with my diet, but I don't know. Like, it's got to the point where she's like the other half of my coin, right? So like when she's not around, there's no good voice. There's only the, oh yeah, just sit and do nothing, Dan. That doesn't need to be done. Do that later. Oh, don't worry about that. So I haven't showered in like 3 days.
Oh my god.
Because I just can't be bothered. You know what I mean? And it's just sort of like, and there's clothes everywhere.
Oh,
and
no.
like, it's just, it's just ridiculous. I haven't been to the gym since she's gone on holiday.
Are you back at work now?
Yeah, I went back Monday.
You went back?
But like, she's that voice that like, and she does it in such a way that my brain just like does it.
She's the voice of reason.
Yeah. And I don't have that.
No.
I think I do have it somewhere, but I just don't listen to it. I think I've got to that age where I'm just like, I don't listen to myself.
See, I always see myself as you're my extreme. Like, this sounds terrible in like towards you, but I always I always do what you do, where I go into this thing, especially when Charlotte's not about for a certain amount of days. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just do absolutely fuck all, yeah, for the next couple of days. But then I end up looking at around the house and I just go, this is pissing me off. And then I end up doing stuff. But it's like you haven't got that bit where you like say, oh fuck, this is annoying me. And then fucking you just carry on.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And that's what I mean, like, the only time on my days off is when I wasn't sitting playing Starfield was to go to Edinburgh. And then I had to go food shopping with Mum. I was going to stay at hers to make it easier to go to work, but Starfield was not there. So I've been here.
Couldn't you bring your... what console you got? You got an Xbox, didn't you? Pretty easy to bring
Yeah, but
over.
she uses a projector. But no, it's not. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is. To be so reliant, I don't know. It's weird because I was thinking about it today. Like, all my relationships in the past have been so toxic.
Yeah.
That there's not been a good side. It's always been do whatever the fuck you want because no one gives a shit. Where she doesn't. She pushes me for things. I want to be like better and I want to try different things and I want to, you know what I mean? Don't be a slob.
Yeah.
And then she's like in another country now and I'm like, it's like, wee! But only for like 2 days and now I'm like, I want Sabina back. I'm sick of this now. I'm sick to death of it.
When is she back?
I don't know, yeah. She comes back Friday.
Okay.
So no, I've managed to stay off like all the shitty food and stuff like that. So I'm impressed with myself in that sort of
So there's been no Arctic rolls been fucking eaten in the dark or something?
No. I've pretty much stayed off bread now as well for like 3 weeks.
Good man.
So so in that sort of sense I'm doing well, but I don't know. I just it makes me in one way it makes me feel really like pathetic. But then in another way, it makes me feel like I'm in a good relationship where my partner makes me feel better about myself. And when she's not around, I'm sort of like lost.
Yeah, that's the way I would think about it if I was you. Because like if you think about what I've said about Charlotte in the past, is Charlotte slowly grafted me. Like, you know what I was like before we got together. She slowly grafted me into what like a person should be. Like. And I think you do need a partner that's going to tell you no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you said, like previous relationships, you just did whatever. And it's the same with me. Like, I had no partner that ever told me no about things. So then I just carried on doing all the crazy shit I was doing. And you do need someone that fucking keeps you in a straight and narrow path, really.
There was a video. Let me see. I think I liked it on our TikTok, and I thought this exactly is how it should be in a relationship. I think it's this guy here.
One person
Yeah, look, 1 second, look. Oh, so this is video I saw, and I was like, this is exactly how I feel about, how it should be with a partner. Let me tell me if you can't hear it.
One person in your life who says, "You got this, I believe in you," and you will find courage and energy to do things that you would not have had before. But more importantly, that person needs to also say, "And if everything goes wrong, I will be there for you, and I will be there with you, and I will be in the mud with you," and has the ability to say, "Something's wrong. I'm worried about you." And I think burnout happens when you're attempting to do all of the things you see other people do and not realize that they have deep, meaningful relationships that you can't see. And you think, falsely, that you have to do it alone. And that's when burnout happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so... When I heard that was like spot on how I fucking... Because that's what you do. Like, you see someone that's got their life in order and you think, like, I have to do everything that they're doing to be that like that. But once you find someone that helps you out, it's almost easier to get those things done. Like when I was going to the gym, she would be like, "Oh, I'm going to bed now. Have a good time at the gym," and stuff like that. And even that, I can't remember if I told everyone. I know I told you. So I joined the gym, and I had a massive fucking panic attack. Like the first day I was going to go, because obviously I've got anxiety and stuff with my ADHD, but like because I didn't know the place or anything like that.
Yeah, you're
like,
going into a new place, especially something that's uncomfortable like a gym is.
Yeah. So I went fucking down the rabbit hole. I was like sitting on the toilet. I couldn't get off. Like my fucking was going mental, and she was like, the intent of going was there. Just hold off. Just don't go tonight. And then if must be, I'll come with you at the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing. I left it for that week, and she came with me. And once I had her there to so I could feel comfortable, I started going on my own. And I think my other partners wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
No, and like obviously I've known a few of the exes of yours, and I would say that it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even get along with your other ex very much anyway. But and I think that's because she knew I could see her for what she was.
Yeah, well, I kind of knew what she was as well, but I was too fucking...
But you're in that bubble. People have told me in the past to get away from... You told me to get away from Chanel, and I never did, and it bit me in the arse in the end. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where I think you've met the right person at the right time in your life, and you felt the difference now when she's gone away, which is a good thing. That's a good thing for her to hear as well if she listens to this.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at my emotions and stuff like that as well. So, and I know she listens to this, so I know like she'll hear it and she'll appreciate it, even if I haven't said it directly. But she knows what I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think as well, like obviously we normally try and be funny and stuff like this at the beginning of the thing. But I thought people like to hear about what's going on in our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I was thinking about today as well with that previous listener that emailed in that got back with the cheater. And I was like, we weren't negative, but she wanted our help about, her concerns and stuff like that. And what we said to her was like, you don't get back with him. Yeah. And I think to myself, like, I hope she didn't take that as like... gospel. Yeah. But not even like that. Like, we weren't trying to say anything negative against her for taking him back. I think it's the way of like, I've done that. I've taken a cheater back and I've stepped through it and stuff like that. And then it's only now that I've been with someone like, like I waited and I've now with someone that treats me the way, another human being should be treated. I think myself to that listener, it's easy to take the cheater back, but what we were trying to say is like there is someone out there that's going to treat you better, and it's better for your mindset.
Yeah.
To not give in to that easy option.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think being the stronger person, like I've done it as well. I've carried with that girl that I went to Turkey with. I carried on the rest of the holiday knowing what she'd done to me, even though it was so raw at the time. And I know that hurt, and that hurt can never be like diminished, no matter how long you stay with someone.
No.
So I think the best thing to do is to cut the ties and just to be with someone fresh, because there is someone out there that's going to treat you right.
Yeah, I just think sometimes like it's alright being like tough love, and obviously we're always trying to be honest and things like that. But sometimes I think when you step back and you're like, I just want to make sure that people are, we're telling them what's happened to us, and we're just trying to stop it before it starts. Yeah,
yeah.
And it's like it may come across a bit mean, and it may come across like hopeless, but that's because all the tough decisions are the hardest ones. You know what I mean?
At the same time as well, they've got to remember what they're writing into. They're writing into two guys that, at the beginning of this podcast, didn't even know this was going to fucking happen. So we're not like therapists at the end of the day. We're not people that are professionals at this. We're literally just doing what we're saying, what comes to our mind at the time. This isn't scripted whatsoever. Even though we have a pre-idea of the email, me and you would make an odd comment about an email to each other, but we don't talk it in depth until we're on the episode.
Yeah.
So people get the actual real reaction from us. So I think that's what people need to take into account. That's why the disclaimer's there as well at the same time. And we are all broken. Like I said, do you know the Tyson Fury show that come out about him and his family? Well, I was discussing it with Charlotte, because Charlotte didn't want to watch it because she hates Tyson Fury and thinks he's an idiot, like most of the UK does. But I also resonate a lot with him because he like got really big. He got to like the top of where he should be, put on loads of weight, become a cocaine addict, alcoholic, and all this stuff, and got loads of like mental health issues. And I resonate a lot with his mental health issue side of it. And I said to Charlotte, even though I'm not to his extreme, because he's got the money that he can do what he wants to do, but the way he thinks, he was at like his daughter's christening and he wanted to go. He was like, I've had enough, I'm going. That's what I'm like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I said,
I'm the same.
If you was to see that documentary and watch how Tyson was acting, if I had money, that's what I'm like. But because I don't have money, I'm like a more restrained version of that. But that's his ups and downs, and his like really wanting to do something 1 minute, and then the next minute because 1 minute he was trying to buy fucking like Bristol Airport or something. Next minute he was like, oh, we're not getting a flight.
Yeah.
That's what I would be like. And that's what I'm like now. Like I bought a shitload of clothes yesterday, and now I've returned everything.
Yeah, I'm not fucking surprised, man. But like, I think it's good because like, we're going on the same journey. Like, we haven't ended our journey or anything like that. So the people that email in, we're on the same, same path. I think that's where we sort of resonate with a lot of listeners, is because there's no bullshit. We're not, what I mean? We're just trying to go through life the same as them. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, enough of the heart-to-heart rambling. We already appreciate you guys. I just thought we'd like people like a bit of an insight, and that's just what's been going through my mind at the minute. Stuff with like Sabina, and I think as well, because obviously I'm having so many problems with like my mortgage and stuff like that, it's making me feel a bit more
down.
Yeah, sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, this is me trying to say like I'm clinging on to the good things, and I'm trying to
know what's positive.
Yeah. So but yeah, on another note, do you want to know what a 36-year-old got for his birthday?
Oh yeah.
I got a Ninja 8-in-1 mini oven.
8-in-1, mate.
Yeah. I like upgrade my air fryers. I tell you, this one's fun. So basically, it looks like an American toaster oven.
I'll have to Google what they look like. I don't know what they look like.
So, or a pizza oven. Yeah, it's called the Ninja 8-in-1 mini oven. It's absolutely fucking stonking. I absolutely love it. So all those people we've converted to air fryers, I tell you, this one's just even better. The other day,
Oh, yep.
You get like a little cookbook with it, and I was like, oh man, spicy turkey sweet potato wedges. Put it in a fucking tub, cover with oil, some spices, put it on the tray, slide it in, put it on roast, 18 minutes, whack, dinner. Fucking sweet potatoes cooked right through, and those bastards take ages.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, 18 minutes.
Mate.
And that's what I did tonight when I was like, oh mate, I'm going to be a bit late, I need a quick dinner. Fucking salmon, sweet potato, fucking boom.
I'm so jealous as well, because me and Charlotte were looking for like a double drawer one, and we were like, when I was looking, I was like, the amount of like landscape it's going to take up on my fucking counter, I don't know whether I can do it, because Charlotte doesn't want to put anything in the cupboard.
The double drawer one's shite. Mum's got it.
Is she?
It's the one that's got, yeah, it's like two halves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's too small.
The drawers are too small.
Yeah, because it's like half and half. It's terrible.
So I'm actually starting to get upset if we have to use the oven. Do you know if there's not enough room in the air fryer?
I tell you right now, I said to Mum, like, I used that yesterday, that mini oven. They do an extra large one with two that's obviously double the size. If Mum had got me that one, I would have ripped my oven out. I swear to God, like, people were saying, like, oh, should I buy an air fryer? The only way I made it through the winter and was able to use my heating was because I used my fucking air fryer, because that bastard uses basically no electricity, where your oven is just a gutsy fuck. Like, I would not put my oven on. I barely use my oven.
Someone asked me the other day, obviously this is a personal question, so you don't have to answer it, but your gas and that, was you paying monthly at the time?
Yeah. I don't do pay as you go.
Right, okay.
So normally, at the minute, I think my
so they
my
were
gas and
basing
that's
like your
40
previous
quid.
month on how much you used, because they were like, oh,
Yeah.
the winter it shouldn't matter.
So they wanted to put it up to, I think I said before, it was like they wanted to put it up to like £156 or something like that,
Which
and I was
is
like,
insane.
no. Yeah, I was like, you can fuck right off. I'm a single person. You're not having it. I was like, you can keep it at 107 because I'm quite happy to pay that, even though that's still fucking high.
Yeah, more than I'm
And
paying.
they were like, oh no, that's not enough. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, if I have to sit here and my fucking lips are blue, I'm not going above £107. So I stopped using my oven because that's, out of everything in my house, that was using the most electricity. And I used my air fryer, and I was eating fucking amazing dinners every fucking day because of that air fryer. And I was in so much credit because I didn't go over that 107 during the winter. I think I got £400 back in April.
There you go.
Yeah. So if people are like, oh, air fryer's this, I tell you right now, if I got that XL one, that oven would not be in my house. I'll keep the hob. The hob's not bad. You know what I mean? But the oven, that ain't going on. Tell you right now, that's not going on. Winter, I'm going to get fucking police tape and a fucking chain. I'm closing that fucker up.
No, when Sabina goes near, it's like, no, you get away from there.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Takes the knobs off of it.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, air fryer is the fucking greatest thing, and it's purely the size, right? Like the toaster oven thing that I've just got, it preheated in less than a minute, and you know what I mean. Whereas an oven, you have to fucking have it going for at least fucking 10 minutes, so the whole thing can heat up before you stick anything in it. And then you've got, and that's purely why it's so gutsy, is because it's like a massive area to heat.
I think with me as well, like when it comes to the oven, I never preheated the oven once in my life.
No,
Never.
but I know the difference though, especially with like
difference.
pizzas.
Massive difference, yeah.
Because if you do it with pizzas, you're basically just defrosting it and then cooking it, which is why it sticks to the bottom of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So, but nah, this toaster, and it does. It's not a toast; it's a mini oven, but it has a toast and bagel function.
Okay.
And then as well, when you're not using it, you can stand it up, and it stands upwards and goes up against the side to save less room. tell you, man, it's expensive. Like, well, not, more expensive than it should be, but it's fucking damn well worth it.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to be healthy as well.
I'm always an advocate for a fucking air fryer, mate.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. I'll tell you, when you come up, man, I'll be fucking... Watch this. Fucking well good. Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by the people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, and see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. So this listener says, I'm going on a girls' trip to Dubai in November, so I've got that to look forward to, but I haven't been on a plane since the pandemic, and it's panicking me slightly. Do you have any suggestions for the nervous flyer, and has much changed during the airport process since Corona? Corona! Always makes you, when I hear that now, it sounds like Barracuda. Remember the song Barracuda?
Oh, yeah.
Barracuda!
It's rare to hear people call it Corona anymore.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's always COVID-19.
The thing that shall not be named.
Yeah.
The big C.
Aisle seat. Don't go near a window if you're nervous.
I always do an aisle seat now.
I do it just purely because I can overspill. Because obviously I'm a big guy. I can overspill into the aisle and not like hinder the person on the middle seat.
True. We both flew during COVID.
Yeah.
During Corona. I think the only difference being, obviously, you needed all your tests and things like that. You don't need them now, so that's not a fucking thing.
No.
And the pain in the arse wearing a fucking mask, like when you're on a flight to Canada for 7 hours, you got to wear a mask. That was not fun.
Yeah, I went on a few holidays during the COVID pandemic. I was very disobedient. Is that the word? Disobedient. Especially on the flights, because I would just open up a drink and like a pack of Pringles or whatever, and just have that sitting there the whole time with my mask down, because I'd just be like, I'm not fucking sitting there breathing my own CO2 for the next fucking 4 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they said you're allowed to pull it down when you eat, and then please put the one in Canada. They were like, it's not mandatory, but we would like you to wear 2, and I was like, no.
2?
Yeah.
Fuck. I know Canada was actually like stressy over it, weren't they? They were like proper hardcore.
Yeah, I had to go. They weren't allowing you to have like NHS tests. You had to go get a private test.
Yeah.
Because I had like an extra £100 on top of my travel costs just in COVID tests.
I did when I went to Portugal the first time. They wouldn't accept an NHS test.
No. And then then the panic sets in, because you've got there, but now you've got to hope that for the 2 weeks you're there, you're not going to pick it up, because then you're fucked. You can't come home. So that was the most, like, the flying and that was fine, but it was that every time you're going somewhere, you're like, is this person going to give me COVID?
I found, because airports used to be shit. Like, when I used to fly, because obviously I've been a quite frequent flyer for a long time, like 3-4 holidays a year. Me and Charlotte for like the last, 8 years, I'd say, something like that. Mm-hmm. Airports used to be really bad, especially the London airports used to be really busy. You'd never be able to like get into departures quick enough to have like a beer or something to eat before you go on the plane. It'd always be rush. You get there 2 hours before and you'd be rushing, and you can't believe that you're rushing. And that went away. It was almost like you had too much time on your hands for a little while. Then COVID hit, and it went back to square one again, because it's not you that's the problem when it. I always find like 95% of the people are okay, but then you've got the odd idiot that hasn't got the right paperwork, or has not got the right this, or not got the right that. So you'd be standing in a queue, stuck behind some drip.
Yeah.
And that happened to me when I was going to Portugal. We were stuck behind a load of Jewish people going to Tel Aviv, and not one of them had their like NHS thing downloaded onto their phone, and the internet wasn't working because you're in the airport.
Fuck's sake.
So they were trying to like load it on their screens, and obviously you just stuck behind them and you're standing there. They wasted 40 minutes of my time. And then when me and Charlotte went and like did our bags, we literally scanned it, done, wrapped the thing around the fucking carrier, put it on the scales, sent it off because it's like self-service,
Yeah.
and then was in fucking security within 5 minutes. But I spent 40 minutes stuck behind twats. Do you know what I mean? And you put that down to a bad experience, but when that happened to you every single time you was going on holiday, I think she done a good thing, this listener, by avoiding flying during the pandemic and just after, because I think now airports are getting back to normal. It's pretty seamless. There's nothing
pretty
left
much
over
exactly
from the
what it
pandemic, I don't think.
No. If anything, it's getting easier because I heard they're changing the restrictions now. They're not bothered anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
you
no
can
100 mil anymore.
Yeah.
If you're in the
So
UK,
if anything,
anyway.
it's easier. Well, there's that. It's going to, obviously, one idiot's going to go on and smash a bottle on there and then it's going to go back to normal. But, you know what I mean, at the minute, they're changing it. So, no, I think the nerves are there because, obviously, it's been a while. But it's pretty much exactly, I mean, take it one step at a time, right? Make sure you got your bags packed. Make sure there's as least interference with you in that flight as possible. So make sure you got everything, your passport and that. Get there with plenty of good time. Make sure if you like Jamie has to have a drink before he gets on the flight. So make sure you got enough time. Have a drink, something to eat, chill out, and then just go through the motions. It's just really fucking boring.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. It's boring. It is for me
boring.
on Monday. I think we've got like a midday flight. We'll get there 2.5 hours early. Chuck our bags in, and then I always feel once my bag's chucked in, security's quick. You just walk through security. As long as I always try to sum up like the idiots in front of me. If I can spot like a big family, you avoid because they've got kids. And then like a drippy looking couple. If they look like drips, just fucking walk the other direction and get behind someone else. If you get behind people that look like they have a bit of a brain in their head, you'll be alright. You'll be straight through it, no problem.
What gets me as well, and obviously I worked at that at Edinburgh Airport, so I knew the procedure. But it's the same thing, right? You queue up at the tray. You take out all your big electricals if you've got like a laptop, a tablet, anything like that. Put it in a separate tray flat. Send that tray through on its own so it can get scanned.
Yeah.
Take off a belt, heavy shoes, put them in a tray with your jacket and the rest of your bag. Make sure it's flat. Send that through. Boom. Done. So they pick it all up. The amount of people that don't get that drives me up the fucking wall. It's not hard.
Or they start unbelting and doing all that when they get to the tray, Dan. You're standing there in a queue for 5 minutes. I wear these hats all the time, as people know. I take everything out my pockets and everything. Take the hat off. Everything's in the hat. Yeah. Put the hat in the thing. Put my whatever else I got, my bag, whatever, in the thing, and I walk straight up.
Yeah.
Done.
Easy peasy.
Me and Charlotte always go scan and go, scan and go. You just go in, scan yourself in, and then you just go. You don't worry about anyone else's bullshit, but there's always someone. I remember coming back from our honeymoon, and there was the German family in front of us, and this German family couldn't comprehend that the Maldivians couldn't speak German, so they was trying to speak to him in English, and this woman had like really heavy set, thick glasses on, like steel or metal glasses on, and they were like, take the glasses off. They're going like this to her. Take them off. And she's standing there going like this, and I'm just like, glasses, take your glasses off. And Charlotte was like, calm down. And I was like, by that point I'd had enough.
It makes me laugh because I was saying like it's so fucking boring. Like I hate being on a plane. It's just so I could sit downstairs on my sofa for 10 hours and not move. You stick me on a plane 10 minutes, I want to get up because it's like being a child. It makes me laugh because Sabina obviously just went to Vegas and she got Wi-Fi on her flight because it's like a 10-hour flight, so they have like free Wi-Fi. And she messaged me something like 6 hours in, and she was like, I can't sleep, I can't concentrate on a film, the guy next to me is drooling, and I'm stuck in the middle. She's like, I just want to get up and walk away, and I'm like, yeah, you got another 4 hours of that, love.
I'm always very jealous of people that can sleep on planes. Very
Yeah, I
jealous
can't
of
do
people
it.
that can sleep on planes. Sometimes you get on the plane, and it's before they even got off, the guy's like this.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Nah.
bro, how are you asleep already? And he's
I
like
wake
that
up,
for the
my
whole
neck's
time.
fucking like. Oh, it makes me laugh as well. I remember, I can't remember if people remember, but when I went to Canada, I stopped in Jersey, in Newark, I think it was, and then I had to go to Canada, and I was like, I went to the toilet, and the toilet was basically on the fucking floor, and the toilet roll was even lower, and I never understood that. And then I think it was like the first full day Sabina was there, she messaged me and she was like, "Why are the toilets so low?" And I was like, "Thank you. Why are they so low? Your knees are in your fucking chin, and the toilet rolls by your fucking ankles. Like, what's going on here?" Americans, man, it's and then as well, when you flush it, it's really aggressive. Like, it's gonna suck you in as well.
Oh, what, the one in the actual... Are you talking about the one on the plane?
No, in America, like the toilets in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in general, like, you know, we have the gap at the bottom of our stools. In America, it's almost like your legs are underneath it. That's how low it is.
I know that's supposed to be the proper way you're supposed to go to the toilet. Like an animal, when you're supposed to squat.
With your legs up by your ears. It's fucking mental.
That's supposed to be the natural way. Maybe they're ahead of us.
Or their plumbers are really short. Maybe they got Mario and Luigi to fit them all for them. But yeah, no, enjoy your holiday. Once you've done it, once you're on there, it's fine. But like I said, give yourself plenty of time, as less stress as possible. You know what I mean? To have everything prepared, get there on time, have a drink, smooth sailing. And then
there's
we
no
look
leftovers
forward-
from COVID. Don't worry about it.
No, none at all. But we look forward to hearing about any good stories or anything madness that happened on your holiday, especially in Dubai. So this listener says, "Great debate on the subject. I really liked your opinions on it. It was a good listen." So this listener emailed in about the Vampire Diaries, about the werewolf and...
Oh, me, you, and Brian.
Yeah. In the recent news of the sub guy missing and the release of the second Meg film, it got me wondering if you guys would do anything daring like this or jump out of a plane, etc. What would be your limit as regards of adrenaline-fueled fun? Would you climb into a shark tank in the ocean? Thanks. How much alcohol's involved?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to get in a shark tank when you're like knocked up?
I would get into, like, if you give me enough margaritas, I would get into one of them shark cages that they put in the boat, on like the side of the boat,
Yeah.
and throw the chum down for. I would do that. I don't see that as too, like, obviously there's fucking horrific things that happen, but I think you're about 97% safe.
Yeah, I would do the
I'd
shark
definitely
thing.
do that.
My brother wants to jump out of a plane. I don't know whether I would do that or not.
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Kieran's doing it for his 30th. My brother.
Oh, is he?
With Matt, his best mate. Yeah, they're going to jump out of a plane for the 30th, and I was like, "I'll see you on the ground, boys."
I think if I had the person strapped to the back of me, it wouldn't be as bad.
Well, you have to.
definitely.
You have to, but
I would definitely pee myself. I
what,
don't think I'd
he
pass
just
out.
like starts drinking urine as you go down.
I started watching the movie The Outlaws. Have you seen that?
Maybe.
Pierce Brosnan and the fella from Workaholics. It's on a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
Come
I
out
must have
last
seen
year.
it. Yeah.
I was laughing because
Where's
there's
the
a bit.
father-in-law?
The father-in-law, yeah.
Yeah.
They go and jump out of a plane right at the beginning, and he's going to him. He's like, "Pull the cord," and Pierce Brosnan's like, "I'm not pulling nothing until you tell me why I should let you marry my daughter." And he's like crying and screaming and that, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna pull it." And he's like, "That's my cock, you dickhead." And that made me laugh so hard. I've never heard Pierce Brosnan say it before, but it's so fucking funny.
My wife and that is
I'm not-
Smurf from Animal Kingdom as well, which is a brilliant
Oh,
TV
is
show
she?
about bank robbery. Yeah.
I can't really say that I've ever really done anything adrenaline filled. I mean, it's not something I would run for. I'd love to do like rock climbing, but not like, because it always makes me laugh. You see like people doing like the free climbing, right, where they climb up like massive mountains and stuff like that, and then you get to the top. How the hell are you going to get down from there?
Climb back down.
Fuck that.
When Charlotte went up Snowdon, she had to go back down.
Nah, I've only got one way in me. If I've got to climb up it, there's got to be another way of coming down, because I'm not coming down the same way. That's my mindset. Because it's the same way where, have you seen that movie, Fall? Is it Fall? Where they go up the massive...
yeah, it's awful, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
and
me
I think
want,
myself...
that made me want to cry, that film.
It was such a good film.
Yeah.
If I'm going up a massive tower and going right to the top, I'm taking a fucking parachute with me, because I ain't climbing down it.
No.
I'm just going to jump off and parachute down to the bottom.
Have you seen that TikTok of when the police raid was happening on one of the high rise blocks in East London, where one of the gangs were operating out of?
No.
They went up there, yeah. The police going up, and Matey Boy jumped out like it was fucking GTA 5, yeah. And fucking parachuted down from the block off his balcony.
See, that's the way it's smart. You know what I mean? So that's
He's
what I would
miles
do.
away before anyone gets near him.
I think the most I would like do like this speedboating, or like when you were on the back of the speedboat in like the rubber ring, and it's fucking bouncing you across the shit.
Oh, like the holiday thing, yeah.
Yeah. I would do stuff like that. I think that's quite cool. Russian roulette? No, fuck that. That's like the biggest adrenaline junk, innit?
I've never had any real... this sounds terrible, but I've never had any real adrenaline come out of me other than when I'm having a physical fight with someone. So if there was like an organised fight, I think that would be the best adrenaline. Getting a hit, you think that you would crumble like a fucking cheesecake, but it actually fills you with adrenaline to a point where it's excitable.
Yeah. I think as well, like, I'd probably do like a track day on like a motorbike.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. The shark thing would be pretty cool. I wouldn't want to do it with the dolphins. I'd be afraid they'd be like bashing their ding dong off me.
Well, they're trying to rape you.
Yeah, did you not? Dolphins are like homosexual, aren't they?
Yeah, they're super promiscuous as well.
Yeah, like they slap their dick against each other and stuff. I think to myself, if I'm in there at the wrong time of year, it doesn't matter. The male dolphin can go every fucking, you know what I mean? It'd be slapping it left, right and centre.
It's like, I don't want to be that damn meat.
Yeah, so it's alright. It's really oddly shaped as well. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I was listening to, oh no, I'm not going to bring it up because I'm not going to go into animal sex things again. But yeah, I think we've got a pretty sort of level pegging thing. I think though, if the podcast took off and we got like money and stuff like that, there'd definitely be some sort of adrenaline thing for like milestones.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I think that would definitely be coming up. But that'd be on you guys to pick what we'd be doing. I don't know what it would be.
If I'm getting paid, mate, you can fucking put me in whatever you want to do. If I'm getting enough money.
Fucking hell. So, this listener says, I was seeing a girl for about a month, and she said she was good friends with her ex still, and I found it weird. It was going reasonably well and carried on for a few weeks, and all of a sudden she ghosted me. I saw her on Instagram. She now back with him after only stopping talking to me for 2 days ago. What do I do? Should I try and get her back, or was it just a quick fling? Thanks.
Lock and delete. Get rid of that. Don't honestly, he was the side hustle. He was.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
She told that boy that she was going on the break, and she's fucked this guy, our listener. That's what's happened.
Yeah. That's why I hate that break thing. Break is such a cheap fucking Nah, fuck that. And the whole thing with like the exes as well was never to be trusted. Like I am friends with my exes to a certain extent. Like if I saw them in the street, I would say stop and have a chat with them and stuff like that. But that's the extent. I'm not meeting up with dinner or going out for drinks.
No.
Or going to the cinema. I mean, like friends with your ex means it ended on good terms.
Yeah.
Any more than that, and you're like, nah, something's still on there.
I'd say I would say you're friendly with your ex, but you're like, if you're friends with your ex, where you're actively speaking to each other every day and stuff, that just means that it ain't over.
There's a show that I started watching on Discovery Plus called Me, My Girlfriend and My Ex, or something like that.
Mm.
And that show is like, listener, if you're $3.99, get Discovery Plus and watch that show, and you will see what fucking happens when they all stay together. It's fucked up. Like there was this one guy who had his ex-wife living in the house because the kids and that were there, and then to see how it went on, he brings in his girlfriend, and he puts her in the basement, and it's so fucking awkward,
as though it's like some weird like sex dungeon.
And then there was this other guy. So this is where it's going to get confusing, right? So the guy is really good friends with his ex, but then his ex has a partner and he has a partner, but then they're all still together. So like they all go in this one house together. So there's two couples, and then they went off and got matching tattoos together without telling their new partners.
That's fucking weird.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck would you do that?
It's like you're carrying on a relationship, but you just got two other people. It's like you're in fucking a quadruple.
Yeah. They're going to go on holiday and stuff together, and it's just fucking crazy. That's someone that hasn't accepted their relationship's ended, but they have to move on, so they found someone else.
Well, I when I was watching Below Deck, yeah, there on one of the Below Decks, there's a customer that comes onto the boat, and they are the first gay couple in the UK to have surrogate children.
All right.
So they were famous for that, and they made loads of money from doing that. And they actually made loads of money from it because one of the gay partners was actually like the surrogacy scientist.
Fucking hell. About...
Yeah, so they made loads of fucking money from doing it anyway. And they've made a company like doing surrogacy for homosexual people. But anyway, they made loads of money from doing that, yeah. But their situation, their family now is they've split up. The daughter's like 18. One of the dads got with the boyfriend of the daughters, and is now going to marry him. And then the other dad's got this like black bloke that's got like a 10-inch cock, and he keeps going on about how big his dick is. And then like they're on a family holiday together with like 4 of the other kids and the daughter, and then the daughter's ex-boyfriend, who's now the dad's fucking husband to be. And then this random black bloke that's like got a 10-inch cock that the other dad keeps talking about how big his dick is.
I need to see this episode.
You need to see that episode, Dan. And they're the most horrific people in the world as well, like as the customers on a boat. I was just like, what is this world coming to? What is this world coming to? And that's what happens when you hang around your exes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily worry about this. Like, I don't think. How did he say how long it was going on for?
I would move on pretty quickly if I was this guy.
For about a month.
Yeah.
So you had a good month with her, and then she's gone. I would just like. This is the sort of person that wants the attention, right? Which is why she's fucking on social media posting photos with her ex, saying they're back together. I wouldn't give her another time of day. Like Jamie said, block and delete. Just move on. And if you see her again, just pretend like it never happened. Be like, oh, I haven't seen you in ages. And then walk off.
You were the guy during the break. I know it sounds terrible, but
yeah.
You were the guy during the break, unfortunately.
But people like that don't deserve any more attention than they've gotten. No. Yeah, you had a good thing for that month, and I would just hold on to that as it was a good time. and then just move on. It's after a month you've started to get pretty like falling pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like, what the fuck is going on? But a month, how long do they say about getting over someone? Isn't it a day for every month you're together?
I would say so.
Yeah, so just one day of heavy drinking, you've gotten over, you'll be alright.
Yeah, just put it down to she's an absolute arsehole and move on from there, I think for me it was always stronger to go out hating someone, but that's pretty bad advice.
It's easier to get over someone when they're a piece of shit. So, let us know how it goes anyway. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm sure you're okay now. If you're always welcome to email in if you need that bit of extra advice. But we always say, if someone's been like that, you're the better person and they're just a piece of shit. So this listener says, please keep me anonymous as always. I am in need of some help, gentlemen. Ever been wanked off in a cheese factory? Because I have. And I have to tell you, it was one of the biggest surprises of my life. I work for a company that checks the fire safety of businesses. I was doing a routine inspection at a cheese/dairy factory, and it was going well. They had not been up to spec at all, and it wasn't looking promising. I had spent a long time there that day and was writing up my findings in a conference room. The young guy that was showing me around was very friendly and was chatting away while I wrote it all down. Things took a turn, and he ran his hands up the table and started to choke the chihuahua, as one would say.
Dirty bastard.
Shaking hands with the bishop. Long story short, I let him, and even though this happened around 9 months ago, I'm still in a bit of shock and confusion. Does it make me gay? I never have encountered this before, and it plays on my mind a lot. My current girlfriend, who I was only dating at the time, has no idea, and even though that we wasn't officially together, I do feel guilty. And then, would she think I'm gay? Help is needed, gentlemen. Your confused chihuahua.
Confused chihuahua, that's amazing. Well. That's a good day at work, I would say.
Yeah, I know. Where the fuck was I in this fucking cheese factory? Why has nothing like this fucking happened to me? That's what you get. The Dirty Shirley stories never had. The Bebo never had. Some guys getting whacked off in a conference room in a cheese factory. Obviously, I'm not in a cheese factory because I'm lactose intolerant. I mean, it'd be like me being the butcher and being a vegan. It ain't happening. But I mean, the balls on this guy as well. How do you know that you're not going to get in trouble? Like, is this guy trying to get fired? He's just like...
He's just slinking his hands up under the table thinking he's amazing.
He's like, I need to pass this fire safety check and my bosses aren't going to be happy. I'm just going to whack this guy off. I wonder if he gave him a better review. He never said that. Did he?
Didn't say. I bet he did.
No.
I bet he did.
Did he go again? And then what would you do? Like, is he going to finish? Like, do you just let him carry on? Is the under the table sticky now, like underneath of it?
Oh, mate. Like...
So many unanswered questions.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I don't know how to answer his question either, because...
It's never happened before.
No, and I've never been in a situation where I'm...
There's always an answer for this, Jamie. Do you know what it is? A hand is a hand.
Dan, I'm starting to hear... If you tell me a story where someone's creeped over onto you... And you're just like, a hand is a hand.
That would have been a few. There's a lot of them. There's always a mouth is a mouth, and every hold is a goal.
Oh, mate, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I can't imagine. Feels like
I can imagine you freaking out.
To a woman's hand.
Yeah, it'd be like rougher, wouldn't it? Unless it's like a gay man's hand, because I think theirs would be really soft.
But like, yeah, I would freak out. I don't think I would be able to sit there and just be like, okay, wait, go on then.
I'd be like, hello.
I don't know what to say to the system, man. I don't know.
I think you would freeze. I don't think you would freak out. I think the shock would get you. and it'd be like a spider in the spotlight. You'd just be like, if I don't move, he can't see me.
For a full hand job to completion. You're going to freeze for a full hand job.
just like a blank, like you're planking. Just like I can imagine you like you've had a stroke. Like you'll be like, yeah, the fire safety, and then all of a sudden he grabs it and you go, huh, and then he carries on, and then you're like, yeah, the fire safety today was.
Oh mate, I think I would like bounce back on my chair. I think I was like,
oh, like just fucking
have
like
like
as
a
an
jerk
earthquake
reaction. I don't know. It's hard to say, innit? It's like what you'd say if like you was in a bank robbery. Like you don't know what you're going to do until it happens, do you?
Until it happens, yeah. I don't think it makes you gay. There's that whole thing like there's so many different situations like South Park where Cartman puts Butter's balls in his mouth, and they're all like, he's like, oh, Butters is gay, and he's like, no, you're gay because you put his balls in your mouth. He's like, what? It's like this is
like,
that
a lot
whole
of guys
thing, right?
get
Like,
gay like after doing loads of drugs and shit.
yeah, exactly. If you would like, if it was like the early into the relationship, I wouldn't mention it. I don't think it's unless obviously you're thinking of going down that avenue, then that's probably something you should need to talk about. But I think if you weren't properly official and it happened, you're not exactly going to go running back for him to give it a second go. I don't think it needs to be discussed. It's definitely confusing.
And I do think, like, if I turned around to Charlotte and said this happened before we were together, I do think she would think I'm slightly leaning that way. So I think it's less confusing for her to just not discuss it.
But then this is that thing as well. Like I can't remember what we were talking about when I said, "Is it does women view it the same way as men view it?" So if like your missus came up to you and was like, "Oh, I went to visit this workplace and this woman put her hand up my skirt and started like rubbing me off," a man would be like, "Oh yeah." Is are women the same? Like if you went to a woman and was like, "Oh man, I was at the work the other day and this guy just whacked me off," like is she going to be like, "Continue," or is she going to be like,
I think she's going to be like, "It's disgusting." I don't know.
Because there's,
preference,
but only is that because, yeah, it's from our point of view, right? I Sabina hasn't been around for me to ask her. It's but is that double standards? Is that me saying like,
Charlotte's directly told me that she'd think it's weird, but she thinks it's she thinks it's less
you got
weird
whacked off
for
by a man?
woman to be with a woman.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, she didn't say
it
it would be weird because obviously
I do.
she's got gay mates and stuff. But she would find me less attractive because she wants to see you as like the guy.
Yeah, I suppose I get that. Unless you went into a relationship and you were like, I'm bisexual, and they already had that image in their head of you being with men. Yeah, I get that. I see how that's coming across. Yeah. I would just put it down to life experience. It would definitely come from the podcast if it happened to me. Some guy whacked me off, but I think I got close once, but it never got that far. But everyone was kissing guys back when I was younger.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was that like in like when I was in college and that it was like hip to be fucking bisexual. So you go to like Edge and that, and everyone be fucking making out with everyone. Yeah. So it's not like to me it doesn't seem that bothered. I think fucking lucky to just get a free whack off from same with that Uber driver that refused the guy that was giving him
glop,
the what was it called again? Glop. Yeah.
Oh
no,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
his toy, wasn't it? The 3,000 one. So yeah, no, it's definitely. Look, if you didn't report him because it happened, then I would just leave it at that. I mean, I can imagine Jamie reporting him where I wouldn't. I'd just be like,
I don't think I'd say anything, but I
That's
wouldn't
fine.
hang around. I'd write the rest of the report up in the car and just post it through the fucking letterbox.
Post it in the back. I'd be really fun. I'd be like, you can do whatever you like, mate, but I ain't changing my report. If this is some sort of tactic to this ain't happening, that you can do whatever you like. It's definitely a very funny story. I don't think it's one to say down the pub. I think we'll leave it in the podcast, and that'd be it. Like I said, unless you're like, oh, I think I like men now, I would just leave it.
I think unless you're looking at like certain blokes on TV and stuff and find them attractive, I don't think you are gay. I think you're just it's a situation that's happened to you.
A hand is a hand, and a mouth is a mouth. Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey, Jamie.
Jesus Christ.
But if the guy's still at the cheese factory and it's in England, I need a new job. Right, so this listener says, "Good morning to you both." I've slid down in my chair now. Now the kids are back to school and I can catch up on the show. I feel your pain in hating your jobs. It can be tough, but some advice from one of your fellow no-hopers. You work to live, not live to work. So let things go over your head as much as possible. Trust me, I know it's easier than done. So, as well as you guys get into while talking about food, what's your top 3 burgers and toppings, can name restaurants, and what's your top 3 best wings and seasonings? Whew. I think we need another segment, a food segment, Jamie. I think
we're getting a food question every week nearly now.
We do, yeah. No, I ain't got a problem with it. I fucking love my food thing, but sometimes I think some people might get sick of it. Top 3 burgers and toppings. What, like? Because I do like a good like steak burger, like good sort of like good beef, not like frozen shit that shrinks. And I had a Sainsbury's burger once that got bigger when I cooked it. That was pretty good.
I think like places
before.
like GBK, I think their burgers are like unmatched. Yeah, Gourmet Burger Kitchen.
GBK?
Yes, a huge
Never
chain.
heard of it.
Five Guys have got
Five
burgers,
Guys is
smash
pretty
burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Five Guys is really good. GBK does this like blue cheese burger, which is like insane, and like they cook it like for me, I've become such a snob now. When I go to like pubs or whatever, if they've cooked that burger and it's like grey meat throughout, and it's not, I don't see a pink centre, I'm just like, this is a shit burger. This is a shit burger.
I like my my gimmicky
like
burgers.
Bit of fucking radish in it, or not radish. What's it called? Pineapple.
Pineapple. Good love a fucking Hawaiian burger. Like I remember going to a Green King and they had a Yorkshire pudding burger. It was maybe Yorkshire. Like I like a good gimmicky burger. Like throw a couple weird toppings on there. I'm more than happy. I like a good Korean style one as well.
Do you know like
flavors?
Chicken burgers? I think chicken burgers and beef burgers should be in their totally own categories.
Yeah, I think they should too. Although, when I'm in Canada, I always go to a place called Chica's. It's the best fucking sandwich I've ever eaten.
Really?
The best chicken sandwich ever eaten. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Like one of those ones where it's deep fried to the point where like you squeeze it and all the white like juice comes out of the chicken. Like it's out, and it's an actual sandwich. It's not in the UK when they say sandwich, it still comes in a burger bun. That's not a sandwich. Like this is a proper sandwich. It's oh man, if you're ever in Toronto, they've just opened up a second location. Fucking, I would sell a leg. I'd sell one of my legs to get one of them fucking burgers. They're amazing. What about wings? Once again, I'm like Korean style. I like
the Korean style wings are good. The Wawa wings in Hemel If you're ever in my local town, that's a brilliant wing place. I've actually started to go away from the wings and more towards the tenders because they've got the same season on it, but it's pure meat.
Yeah, I'm not big on bone.
I don't mind it, but the wings have to be cooked nicely.
Wings
sometimes, I always like when it comes to wings. It can make me sound like a serial killer, but the only wing I like really is the flat boys, like the actual ones that are flat. If you know what I'm talking about, they're the only wing I like. So if I could get like 20 of them from like a place like Wings or Wow Wow Wings, that place that we went to in Birmingham, that Wings place. Yeah, Wingstop.
Oh yeah, Wingstop.
Anything like that, really. I don't mind what flavour them, really. I mix between teriyaki, Korean, buffalo. Buffalo is always a classic. You can't really get away from it. Peri peri wings I do like, but they're probably towards the bottom of the list. I just have them because they're healthier.
Yeah, I'm not big on that. Louisiana's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just like that sweetness. Give me a good sweet fucking sauce, I'm okay. I don't know. I like a good drumstick. I prefer a drumstick than
I like a fire
than a wing or like a thigh.
Strange. Even though it's one of my probably favourite type of foods, I wouldn't say I have top 3 for either a burger or a...
I've gone off burgers a lot. I haven't had a burger in a long time.
They need to be good for me to have a burger.
If I did have one, it'd be like a chicken burger. Yeah. Actually, though, saying that, me and Sabina made some like quick burgers out of some like mince and some seasoning. That was pretty good. So I could be in the... But I think when I'm at home, I'm quite lazy when it comes to like toppings. I'll just make the burger and stick it in a bun and I'll just fucking crack on with it. But when I'm out, I like a good like crispy bit of like iceberg lettuce and like tomato and some pickle and shit in it. Yeah, when I'm at home, I can't be bothered. It's a very plain burger. In the end, sometimes I just get rid of the bun and eat the burger on its own. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I'm not very good to myself, Jamie. But we appreciate the email. Next time, if you guys want to email in with a top or anything, put yours in there as well. We'd like to hear what your top ones are, and we can discuss that as well. I mean, me and Jamie are always looking out for new places to eat and stuff. So if you've got your own top 3, just let us know. So this listener says, "Hey, just wanted to say, amazing new artwork for the rebrand on the show. It really makes you look professional. Well done, Jamie. We've been talking about it for a while, getting a proper thing going so you can see it's us.
I feel that as well.
I think it proper makes it pop now.
It's come up on her Spotify. She actually looked at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it look like we're actually human and we're not just a logo. So I think it makes us like look like we're one of the rest of them now. So yeah, no, it's really good. We have others that we might like switch up and change over now, but I like as well with the orange when you go on Spotify, it makes everything else orange as well.
When I play it in my car, it makes the whole dashboard go orange. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like the orange. Jimmy the Hair Guy was a treat to have on. I've listened to Brian's show too and heard him on there. His story is crazy. If you have anything that could help me, I'd be happy to listen. I booked on a half marathon about a year ago and now realised it's coming up already in a month's time and I'm slightly panicking. I've not trained at all. What can I do, lads? Shall I just pretend it's not happening and give all the raised money to charity, or should I still run it? And if I fail, at least I've tried, right?
I would still do it. Yeah, if you it would be a lot different answer from me if you hadn't have tried to raise money to go on the run. That's a real drive.
Yeah, I suppose that's a real sort of like demon factor, isn't it? But no, I think as well, like if you signed up for it, obviously you wanted to do it, and I think that would be, if you still run it, that would be something to tick off your list. Like you've done a half marathon, whether you run it, walk it, or jog or whatever, you still, done it. I would love to do it, or I just haven't got the when I think about all the people standing there watching, I think myself, do I run like an idiot?
Yeah, it's
Like, it just
difficult.
puts
It's
me off.
Charlotte. When I first met Charlotte, she ran a half marathon with her old boss.
She did, yeah, because they tried to get me to join in. And I said
And it
yes,
was
and they
like-
never did it.
I remember they did a lot of practicing, a lot of training and that stuff for it, and they struggled. But then after that, I know a few friends of mine. They've signed up to marathons, the London Marathon, the Brighton Marathon, a few times, doing the full 24.
Oh, yeah.
Or 20, is it 24? I don't know. 24, I think. 24 miles sounds right.
No, I don't know.
And they've gone out and done it, and it's taken them like fucking forever to finish, but they did it. So I think if your fitness ability is to a certain standard, then you should be able to do it. You just got to fight through them walls. Unfortunately, you've not given yourself any prep for that. And maybe if you've got a week or so left, go for a few longer runs and see how you get on. But don't overdo it either, because if you overdo it just before, you end up with a tweaked knee and you won't be able to fucking walk like I am.
Brings it back to himself. No, it's something you could. It's impressive. I think if whether if you do it and don't, finish, it's still something that you've achieved. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it was in your mind to do it, and whether you finish or not, you've accomplished that, and then you get that feeling for it, right? So then you'd be like, actually, I like this. I want to actually do it properly. So then you've got the next year to like properly train for it. You're just giving that yourself like, oh, I know what's coming now. I know what I need to train for, what it feels like. So I would still do it. What you're gonna if it comes up, even if you do give all the money to charity, which you will do anyway, you just feel like you've cheated yourself.
Yeah, you would, because you've not attempted.
Yeah, that's how I would feel.
I feel as though it's something you need to do at this point.
Yeah, and if you'd given us more notice, we could have sent you a Two Men No Hope T-shirt to worn while you're running as a bit of publicity, but you've missed that out now. Maybe next year. But good luck if you've done it. I think when you sent that, it must have been next month. Let us know how it got on. If you did it or you didn't do it, we'd like to let listeners know. So this listener says, I'm new to the show and I'm loving it. I was recommended by a colleague and I was pleasantly surprised, and it is refreshing as a show named Two Men. I thought it would be a trigger-filled show. It's far from it. You're both very understanding and make light of people's bad situations, and I feel it has helped many people or you wouldn't have returned listenership. Thank you to your colleague who recommended us to you. It's always nice to hear that they appreciate what we know, what we say, what we know. We don't know anything. What we say, and they feel that we could help you out with a situation
definitely.
that makes us feel like we're doing something right. Yeah. So I have said before, it wasn't until we got a few episodes in and I said to Jamie about the two men thing, I was like, that suggests something that's different to the show. But it also works as well because we call our family no
and we've made it kind of work in that way, I think. I think when people see men in the title, they just think it's going to be... Well,
but it definitely, if you just saw it...
Typical podcast thing. When I think... Yeah, I would say we're a quarter of the way there, but I think we're drawn out show, and me and Dan are both accepting people, so... I think sometimes the name could be misskewed.
But then it is. We are just two men, isn't it? There's no... Just two guys.
Trying to give some advice.
Shooting the shit. Yeah. Advice that we didn't take ourselves when we were at that age. But right, so here's a question for me. If you would take it in consideration. I'm dating a guy who I think may be cheating. He is very secretive over his phone. He takes it to the bathroom with him every time. He always goes out a lot with friends at the weekends and works late some evenings during the week. I've been cheated on in the past, and they were the red flags I tend to avoid. Do you think I may be overthinking it? If so, how would you advise me to go about this?
I think there is a very good chance you could be overthinking it because, as Dan said the same thing to me, where if I go to the toilet, I'm taking the phone to the toilet for a long time. And it's not because I'm texting other people. It's because I'm looking at TikTok probably 95% of the time, or I'm doing something like watching a YouTube video, or even just like making thumbnails for the podcast while I'm on the toilet. I'm doing stuff on my phone.
Yeah. Or sometimes I actually send an email or two while I'm sitting on the toilet.
It's became the new. Do you know, like in the old sitcoms, the bloke used to go up to the toilet with a newspaper. Sometimes I feel naked when I'm in the bathroom and I've realised I've left my phone on the sofa or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Me and Sabina send TikToks to each other while we're sitting on the toilet.
But on top of that, you've been cheated on in the past as well, so the red flags are red flags for a reason. So I think it might be worth a conversation just about where your standards are kind of at compared to where his standards are kind of at. Because from the email that she sent, from the things that she's worrying about, I think she's thinking too much and maybe letting the old relationships affect this relationship. But he could be just ingenuous and be carrying on the same processes. Obviously, we don't know what he's like as a person. So I think that conversation needs to be had. And when it's out in the open, he'll be conscious that you're wondering what you're doing while you're in the toilet or whatever.
I think our own minds get the best of us a lot of times. I think as well, I've said previously, men are massive children. I've said this many, many times. And I've gone into the fact that, like, we'll push it to see what we can get away with in relationships and things like that. So you're saying about going out the weekends with his mates. Have you said about him going out with his mates of the weekend? Because this is what it starts off as, right? Like, he's like, oh, my missus lets me go out the weekends. And if you never say, hang on a minute, like, I'd like to see you, or let's spend some time together the weekends, he's going to keep going out with his mates. And it's not him being like rude or anything like that. It's just the fact that you're okay with it, and because
some people are social people as well,
to just do it.
So even if he was to stop going out with his mates, it might end up that you end up finding couple friends that you end up going out with and doing it that way. Because like I was very social at the beginning of my Charlotte's relationship.
You need to. I wasn't. I never have been. Yeah, you need to find that balance. Like at the beginning of every relationship, you take a lot of shit from each other because you're trying to not act crazy. You're trying to act like overly nice and accepting of everything, where it just leaves each other going, "Oh, hang on a minute, why is he doing that now all the time?" And that's what sends, and it sets all these like, is he cheating on me? Why does he want to spend time with me? And men do the same thing. I'm not like, I'm only using this situation, but men do the same thing as well. Like if I've met girls that, I can't meet up tonight, I'm going out with this person. You're like, well, hang on a minute. You went out with them yesterday. But then you don't say that. You're like, okay, that's no problem. There was a girl that I really liked for years, and then she came back and like it all spiraled up again. But I was at the bottom of her fucking list. And every time she ditched me, every time she would be like, oh, I've got to do this instead, I would just be like, okay then. To the point where I'm not seeing her at all anymore because she's constantly doing something else. So you need to have that. And Jamie's absolutely right. It's a conversation you need to have if you've got concerns and things like that. And and it's not unreasonable. And if he gets defensive about it, or he gets like, you're accusing me and stuff like that, then he's up for something.
I think you can tell. Like, you'd have to be a very silly person to not be able to tell. If you was to openly ask, and they really went over the top about it, then there's definitely something going on.
Yeah, because there's that switch in there. Like, you could just be like, oh, you know, you're spending a lot of time with your mates the weekend. Wouldn't it be nice if me and you could turn together? And they'd be like, what? No, I need that time with my mates. You're like, right, you're up to something.
And I do feel like for a healthy
relationship
to conduct itself, you do need time away from that person, and you do need to be, say, I need to be time to be Jamie with my mates, and Charlotte needs to be Charlotte with her mates, and there is that time that you need to carve out for that. But at the same time, you also need to be a couple. And if he's doing every single weekend without fail, going out with his mates, he's not making time for the relationship.
No, not at all. Like, I'm the same. Like, I like to have my own, and then like Sabina has friends and that, and so like when she's like, "Oh, I'm going to see my mate," I'll be like, "That's okay." Like, I'll just spend the time on my own, which I'm quite happy with.
As we've learned,
2 days on my own is enough. Any more than that, yeah. Any more than that, and I'm like, no, that's too much damn time now. But yeah, you can tell by someone's reactions. Like, we always say communication is key, and I mean, like, we always say it's the hardest thing to do, but it gains the best results. Putting it off is only going to make your head worse, and you're just wasting time. Then, I mean, we've learnt from, like we say about the beginning of the episode, we're talking about Corona. I mean, you lost 2 years. I mean, there's better people out there.
Yeah, which you found out yourself personally. And like, I've found out from a long-term relationships, as you have done in the past, that any little buds that are building in your head are just going to eventually be like a be-all and end-all, and cause resentment.
Yeah, and then you'll explode over nothing, and then that will end up ending it. So before it gets any worse, the toilet with the phone, yes, that can be a hiding thing, but every guy, I'm pretty sure everyone does it. Yeah, I mean, that's not a hiding thing. That's like
100%.
I need to do something while I'm sitting on the toilet. I envy someone that can sit on the toilet and it come out and then they get up and leave. Who the fuck does that?
And sociopaths. Because if you're going to sit down and look at the door, I've actually sat down and been, right, okay, I need to get back up and get my phone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have too. Clench it and then go. Like, I need a good 2 minutes of sitting there doing nothing before anything.
No,
happens.
I think
I don't know if that's
is
my
what
age,
the world's done to us
but
with mobile phones and stuff.
When I'm at work, I can't have my phone on me, so I leave it in the car. So I now sit on the toilet and I have like a smartwatch, but it's not connecting. But I sit there and I just swipe through my smartwatch while I'm sitting on the toilet, because I have to switch my brain off so I can go to the fucking toilet. Yeah, that's how bad it is with your phone. So the phone thing, yes, it can be bad, but I wouldn't even take that into a factor, because I mean, I'm sure you take your phone to the toilet. No, Sabina does. Yeah, so that's just an odd behavioural thing.
Yeah, I think she's thrown that in
yourself because of your past experience. Oh, why is he doing it? Yeah, but yeah, have a conversation, be nice and easy about it, and just be like, I wouldn't be accusing, just say, oh, it'd be nice if we could spend some weekends together. If he automatically gets defensive about it, and then he's up to something, I would say that, because if Sabina said to me, oh, you're spending a lot of time with Jamie, I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, I am. I'll make some time for you. That's the normal sort of like, oh, I get that I've been neglecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jamie would understand, be like, oh, mate, not this weekend. I would definitely, if he's like, oh, no, I need time with my mates. That's no, we've already got plans.
And then you look into it further.
All right. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. But no, like I said, we're always here for better or worse, any sort of question. We appreciate you coming and sending us an email. Hopefully it's nothing more than a conversation and him realising that he has done. Like all guys need that little nudge because we get complacent.
Yep.
That's what happens.
I don't
when you
know
have
a man that isn't a child.
Partner. Yeah, exactly. We're always trying to push the boundaries. That's what you got to remember. Men are children. I admit it. I'm a massive child.
I'm in multiple group
women
chats with men,
the rocks,
and we send the most obscene, stupid shit to each other constantly, and it's because we're just children. I can imagine women's group chats are very like they just discuss things
absolutely.
and have a laugh about things. We just send absolute shit to each other constantly.
Oh yeah, they're like making plans of like what to do the weekend and like putting them in schedules, and I'm just sending like memes and shit. Ridiculous. But welcome anyway. Welcome to the family. We love having you. We are massive children. Right, so our last email. Yep. This listener says, thanks for the advice on my situation. It was a bit of a piss take coming my way for a bit, but it worked out for the best. I've now changed jobs to be closer to the family anyway since, and it was good to leave knowing I hadn't left on a lie. Let's see what this listener says. So this listener was the one that was travelling back and forth from Ireland to Liverpool, and his mates wanted to stay over his house, and he didn't tell them he had a family. So yeah. They were taking the piss for a little bit, but it worked out for the best. There's no way you could have hidden that without looking like a dick. So well done for up in it. It's the same with the guy that said invite the people over for the barbecue.
Yeah,
and he's using someone else's house. Always go through with the situation that's coming up, and then because that's the easiest way. If you were like, nah, it can't happen, guys. You're just a dick because you were lying.
And just take the
shit.
Go
through with it. Go for the party. Have your barbecue,
like,
whatever.
oh, he's the family man.
Yeah, own up.
Family guy and all this shit. I can imagine the shit.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
But I mean, everyone's got fucking family relationship. I mean, it is what it is. But and he says, I would like to say happy birthday to you, Dan. I hope Jamie doesn't make you feel too old this weekend. That back and forth gag about age does make me laugh.
It accidentally come up by accident though, didn't it?
Like, we didn't go into it.
No,
I didn't.
No, not your birthday.
What, my birthday? No, it comes around every year.
The thing that I don't know I didn't realise the 4-year age gap would be that relevant when it comes to like pop culture and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. 4 years is quite a big sort of leap. Especially, I think our families are a lot different as well, so it's what we're like shown, and I think I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and they're quite old souls anyway, so I was like absorbing all that shit. Jamie doesn't ever. I make a point of bringing it up because I think it's funny, but Jamie's never really made a thing about our age. You wouldn't know, unless because obviously I bring it up. You wouldn't know there was a 4-year gap between me and Jamie. Like you guys, I have dabbled in the world of retail and retail management. I hate the management side. By the end of it, I felt like the cheesy boss from American sitcoms. But with me moving back home for work, the local jobs in my local trade is few and far between, and I've been offered a role in the chain I worked with before by the old area manager. It's less hours, more money, but I just have to return to all the stresses I've been dealing years without. My dilemma is I would be able to provide more for my family, yes, but I wouldn't be happy at work anymore. Any help would be wonderful, gents. It's all about that dick money. Love it. That's staying with us forever, Jamie. I personally wouldn't go back to it. If it was me, I think to myself, like, yes, your family would get stuff, but is that ultimately the best thing? Like, if you're coming home and being miserable all the time,
it's the best thing. I think financially it could be. For if you're coming home in a bad mood, you're better off being in a lower paid job and being in a better mood. But at the same time, what I would do if it was me personally is I would come back and use that as a stepping stone while I look. So I'll go into this job knowing I'm going to hate it, treat it as blasé as possible, and just take the check and go home, and then find the job in the sector that I want. While I'm and like actively look and make sure I'm actively looking and don't just end up stuck where I don't want to be. And I think that's possibly could be the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because I think if I was to go back into retail now, you would see me hanging from the rafters within fucking 2 days. Do you know what I mean? Dealing with customers again and all their bullshit. And management role I'd go back into. But I've learnt a lot from the years that I haven't been in a management role since. And I think I became that company man where I was very believed everything the company told me, and now I've picked up that skepticism, which I think is a healthy thing to realise, is that you are only a number in a corporation, and think of yourself that way. Don't think they ain't going to replace you, because they will. Yeah.
Yeah, they want all the extra hours and you can fuck off. If you're paying me...
So if you go in for that management role...
That's what I'm doing, nothing
else. You know what it
else.
was like before when we did management, Dan. You'd be doing all the hours under the sun and get paid for about half of it. And get no thanks for it, really.
Yeah.
And you get fucked off at the end. Where if I was to go into a management role now, I'll be doing my hours and I'll be going home. And if they try to call me outside of hours, they won't be getting the fucking answer of my phone. And it would be a totally different situation.
Yeah. Work breaks families. If you come home miserable all the time, your partner's not going to put up with it. Like when I was younger and my mum first met my stepdad, he worked at IBC and he used to do like lates and things like that. And he hated his job. And all I remember from growing up in that household is the arguments. You know, I mean, yeah, he brought in good money and we had a house and we had things and things like that. But I always remember all the fucking yelling, all the times that he was miserable, all the times he came home and mum was upset and things like that. That's what I remember, not the stuff that was bought with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter when you don't want to be at home because everyone's fucking yelling at each other. You know what I mean? Like if you can, but I agree with Jamie, like bills have got to be paid.
Yeah, if you used to go back
and it's
now
easier to get a job when you have a job.
And be looking, you're going to be struggling. But if you walk into this other job and then look straight away, then that pressure's off.
There's that pressure in there. Yeah. You're literally, you know your bills are getting paid. You know you've got a job to go to. And it's just there to keep you funded until you find something else. At the end of the day, like the listener said earlier, you don't live to work. Yeah, I mean, you want a job that you're happy in, that pays the bills and that. So when you come home, you're still in a good mood and you still can enjoy your family and they're happy to be around you.
No, it doesn't. And I think,
money does make things easier.
As I said,
it does
going
not buy
with
happiness.
that blasé attitude, and I think that will carry you through it. But I would say if you are to take my advice on it, which obviously we always say, make your own decision, don't take our advice directly, but if you were to go down the road I'm saying, be prepared to burn that bridge, because if you're just going to pick up and leave as soon as you found the other job, you're most likely not going to work that notice and stuff like that. So it's literally just going to be a stepping stone between one job to another. I did it between when I left Co-op and the job I'm in now. I did the cash security job, which I hated.
Yeah.
And I did it for about a month, 2 months. And I really hated the fucking job. But I literally walked in, walked out, didn't give a shit about it. I think that's kind of what you need to be like.
Yeah. Yeah, because your bills need to be paid.
No,
and I think
you
Jamie's
know
right. Like if you go in with that attitude, you're not going to come home miserable. Yeah. But then, you know, things could happen and they're asking you to come back. It could be different. You never know. But unless you take that step, you never find out.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. So retail's gotten worse, if anything. You know what I mean? They want less staff. It's just fucking horseshit. But then again, the job I'm in now is horseshit. I do loads of fucking hours for no fucking money.
I just find,
and they're cutting my money. So
especially retail,
it's everywhere.
It's all about this positivity. They try and sell you positivity and all this shit, and it's just the same shit as everywhere else. And like, you kind of just got to accept the fact that, as I said, you're a number in that company. And unless you're working for a mum and pop where you actually know the fucking owner of the business, or unless you become an owner of a business yourself, that's the only way it changes. Other than that, as the listener said earlier on, work to live and not live to work, and just let it be something you're doing for 8 hours and coming home.
Makes you laugh because remember the email ages ago, where they were like, "Oh, you always speak so negative about retail and stuff like that." That's only because that's our experience. Like, I sit here and I listen to me and Jamie, and we're like really happy we're lucky.
Was
Then we
brilliant at the
mentioned
beginning
retail,
when we
and
were in the
we're
same
like,
stop
"Fucking
shop
hate
and
this
stuff."
shit. It's fucking shite. Yeah, that's only going by. Yeah, you can have. I'm not like, people have made careers and they have a really good time, and it's your outlook on life, right, that makes it that way. If you're happy to deal with customers, if you're happy to deal with problems and like that, then you're having. You know what I mean? You're more than happy in it. It's just our experience that we talk about is why we don't like it. I think me and Jamie have got to this point now where like, the only job we're going to be happy with is doing this. So I think no matter where me and Jamie are going to go,
I'm interested in.
We're always going to be like, I can't fucking stand this.
I'm not interested in anything else.
And I said to my mum the other day, and I said to the beginning of this episode, I was like, it's took me a long time to figure out what I want to do in life. You know what I mean? And this is it. And it just happens to be the hardest thing to get off the fucking ground. It's the thing that I want to do. But, you know what I mean? The hobbies are what you're interested in, which is what this is now, and which is what you future want to be as a job. If I have to go back to retail, I said the other day, as soon as my mortgage is fixed, I'm looking for another job. And if that means ending up back in retail to fund me doing this, then of course I'll do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, bills have got to be paid. But at the end of the day, your family has got to be happy. I think
it's bigger than a couple of grand a year, isn't it?
The money. And I think it probably is to you as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the listener knows this is why he's emailing in. So make sure your family's happy. Like I said, yeah, kids like things, and you know, buying stuff is nice and holidays are nice. But they want their dad and their partner to come home happy. That's the best thing that they're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what they remember when they get older.
You're not going to remember your dad coming home and being miserable and drinking beers and going to sleep on the sofa. You're going to remember him playing with you and doing all the things that you want as a child, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Like I said, my stepdad, I have better memories of him now. Well, I don't live at home. But growing up, we fucking hated each other. Literally fucking hated each other. When I used to come into the house, he used to look at me like I'm roadkill. I'd be like, why are you looking at me like that? He'd be like what? I'd be like you just smelt shit. Oh, I'm not. I'd be like, just get the fuck out of my face. And that would be how we spoke to each other. And it's because I had that negative experience with him while he's a person that doesn't want to work anyway, but it'd be different, you know what I mean, if he came back with it. He was that thing where like he would start a new job and he would be great for a month.
Like that in my life.
And then he just didn't want to be there anymore, and then it would all start up again. Yeah. So build better memories. Fuck work. Anarchy, fuck the government. But yeah, that's it, Jamie. It's been a roller coaster this episode, man. We started off, we were laughing, and then I got a bit heart to heart because I'm missing my lady. but I'm also happy to be here doing
Yeah, it's
emails.
like
And we went up, and now we've gone
I
down.
would call it a bipolar
I don't know what
episode.
to do with myself, man. I won't be able to sleep
We've had
tonight.
lots of ups and lots of downs this episode. It's been a good episode though, and
Yeah.
I hope people got through our moaning at the beginning about life. I'm hoping people saw that as like a straw in the curtain back a little bit and seeing how we feel about life and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had a customer. Fuck's sake.
So,
retail. We had a
See, that was a
listener
little bit of an update
ask
at the
about us,
beginning
didn't
of
they?
the
They
show.
said, "How are you guys doing?" So I think it's nice. It's nice, isn't it?
But yeah.
Yeah.
As always, guys, like send us in any content ideas. Why's my mind gone blank? Any yeah, as always, guys, send us in any
James
content
Flatline.
ideas, questions for the show, feedback, all of the stuff as we said before about like following us and making sure you hit that notification button so you see the new content. The new content will be coming out at the beginning of October, so that's not long after this episode. So yeah, I'll see you next Monday, Dan. Oh, I won't actually, because I'll be in fucking Greece. There are listeners will, yeah, because this is the time travel shit.
But the listeners will, because it's already recorded. I can never keep up with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Enjoy your
With my
holiday,
fucking
man.
gammy
We'll
leg.
look forward to the crazy shit that happens to you while you're away. And I'll have Sabina back, so there'll be no
Right, mate.
heart-filled shit.
See you next time.
Alright, man. See you later, dude.